Look at that. Let's do this. I hit the kind of the clamps on the phone, and it turned the phone on. And I think there's something there. I am always amazed by everything around me. I don't know if it's kind of sad and kind of I don't know what it is. When I started out, I was gung-ho into basically into everything, and watching people all the time, and trying to get in on the collabs without seemingly annoying, which I think I was anyway. The downside is that I've definitely slowed down. And it's not because I have like all these, people from my past that I'm contending with. In fact, most of the people from my past are gone. It's kind of like the amount of time that I've spent with people and hanging out and doing things and being there pretty much. Most of it was just a freaking huge waste of time. There was, I'm not going to do names because I don't want them to be upset, because they're still a great person. It's just we're not connected anymore, and I have no idea. And because we're not connected anymore, I have no idea where they are, what they're doing. There was a point in time where I was absolutely, worried about them, the current situation, and they were in my first year. Like I said, I was gung-ho. I had over 200 freaking followers before even doing a stream on Twitch. They were one of the ones. They were a big kind of a help. I was kind of attracted to them because I thought that they were older. I thought this was the aging population, and I went right to them. And it turns out that they were basically 25 years younger than me. Not exactly not exactly the type of person who kind of understands like what happened in our childhood. I've been peerless pretty much since I started this. I've had some older people, and they kind of disregard me. I did take off the leather jacket only because I didn't want you guys to have the exact same arm, the expressive arm doing things. Yeah, I think that it was one of the things that most people don't understand unless they're in a similar situation. It could be, and similar. It could be, being an American in like Japan. Every time you hear somebody speak English, you're like, oh, whoa, 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 and you're like, oh, yeah, you're not really an American. You don't really know American stuff. Nothing wrong with Japan. Nothing wrong with being Japanese. Nothing wrong with speaking Japanese. Sushi is my favorite food for a reason. I love it. But I am decidedly an American, which in this day and age kind of sucks. But I am. Better or worse, I am. But that's kind of like what I was going through. There's nothing wrong with somebody being younger than me. In fact, I enjoy it. A lot of people actually make me feel or forget that I'm this old fart. Making videos and stuff like that. Oh, you have no idea. When somebody told me that 50 is the new 30, I was like, woohoo! Yeah. But I am. I'm an old man. It's no hiding it. Came from a time when people did stupid shit but didn't film it and put it online. Why are you telling me to keep my eyes on the road? Something wrong with you? I'm looking at the road. I think my car sets up these freaking alerts. Like, keep your eyes on the road. I look at it, I'm reading it, and it's... and because I averted my eyes from the road, it's saying, keep your eyes on the road again. And it's a cycle. The sad thing about it is, I don't think that if I was really in trouble and stuff like that, none of that stuff will help. It's like the auto assist that somebody was recently talking about. Oh, there's a commercial and everybody was doing the auto assist, to try to relax and basically put their car on autopilot so they can use their hands to talk or pretend conduct music. That's bad. But I guess I'm a control freak. So, because I do not like to give up control. I think when self-driving cars become the only thing around, I think I'm going to basically still go to manual. But your eyesight's there. Go to manual. You want this stubborn freaking old man? Hey, I can drive myself. And statistically, I am the stereotype. I was in a lot of accidents in my youth when I was younger. Kind of like got over it, sort of, when I got older. And now that I'm kind of in the twilight, I finally, for the first time, have a clean, crystal clean, without a blemish on it, driving record. And believe me, it wasn't easy to do. There is a video of me getting pulled over while doing morning commute. I was pulled over so much, it was absolutely getting to stupid. I think I grew the beard just so that I would stop getting pulled over. And I don't think it worked. I don't think it worked. It's probably not the only reason I really do. We're in the Christmas season right now. That's the reason why I grew the beard, so I could be Santa Claus. It's I could talk about that real quick. My need for attention. Oh my God, I forgot where I was. I'm under the psychology of being Santa Claus. But yeah, driving. That's what we were talking about. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's that need for control. I mean, has either served me very well or it's been very harmful. It's usually not. There's usually not a middle. And I'd like to think that, wanting to have that control or not relinquishing the control of things has benefited me more than it's been a detriment. One of the biggest detriments is that it's one of the reasons why I'm not a team player. And that unless somebody basically takes the initiative on their own, to do the things that I'm struggling with, that's the only way I accept their help. Because I definitely won't ask for it. Like I said, it's not always good. One of the benefits of doing it like that is I know the inner workings. I know how things function. I know how things go. I don't leave it up to chance or somebody else or machinery or anything like that. I mean, I can even use examples of it. A pressure pot, rumble tables. I remember when I first started making molds without pressure pot, without a rumble table, and I was basically drumming all around it, on the table. And sometimes it came out great. Sometimes it came out like absolutely perfection. And sometimes it just did not work out. And it was awful. And sometimes you got to start over. Yeah, I like to problem solve. I like to think of the best solution, and even if I come up with a solution, if there's better, I would like to know that too. I want to always constantly be learning. And it is the reason why I get into arguments all the time. Because I'm very passionate about learning, and it has nothing to do with me wanting to prove that I'm right, which I know a lot of people would argue that's all I want to do, is prove that I'm right. And I don't. What I want people to do is prove me wrong, beyond a shadow of a doubt. Bring out the evidence, not make up shit. Buck the system. And as much as like things like being a flat earther, is going against the establishment and everything like that, there's no evidence of it. None. They have none. There's nothing that even points in the direction of a flat earth. Not a single shred of evidence. There is not a single shred of evidence that points to us not landing on the moon. People just think that way. But if somebody had something and presented it to me, I can present the evidence of it actually happening, because there's plenty of it. There's more than enough of it. There's more than enough of it's not oblong, but the Earth is more, it's spherical, but it's more egg-shaped than circular. Yeah. If somebody can, actually do that. And I don't want to crap on people's beliefs. It is one of the main reasons why I don't argue theology with people. I'll argue people's interpretation, but as far as the existence of a deity and whether he cares and loves and everything like that, I don't get into that with people. I will express my own beliefs if need be. And mostly I will do that when somebody expresses their freaking beliefs and tries to force me to believe their way. But I don't crap on people's faith. A few times back, I was talking about the difference between hope and faith. Hope means that you're putting in the work, or you should be putting in the work. Because if you're not putting in the work, then it's faith. You're having faith, not having hope. Hope is the not acknowledging that no matter how much preparation you do, no matter how much work you put in, there is still a chance that it could all go awry. And hope for the best. Faith is not the exact opposite, but faith is believing that no matter what, it's all going to be fine. You don't have to do anything. God's plan and all. In fact, you doing something might mess up the natural order of things. That's how I look at it. So when I'm in an argument with somebody, I'd like for them to have the hope that they're going to win the argument with me, as opposed to having faith that they'll win the argument with me. Because having faith, you won't win the argument with me. If you let me do all the freaking running around, if you try to let your beliefs just stand up for themselves, like I said, it's the reason why I don't argue religion. I have a huge reverence for people's beliefs. And I will admit that when I was younger and faced down with stuff like that, I was not very kind to people of faith. I was, and when I say that, I act like I was, pushing them downstairs and shit like that. I wasn't. I wasn't. I was nice. I just attacked their faith. And it wasn't until one of my mentors when we would get into heated arguments, obviously. I'm here at it. And once he realized, like, I'm there to really learn it. I'm there to really understand. He didn't craft it as this is what you need to have. This is how this all works. This is what your faith is going to do for you. He crafted it as, these things exist because certain things have to happen. And inside the atom, inside there's God. And that's an amazing type of concept of thinking. Where do I hit the mirror or something? But yeah, I'll argue about it. I will even argue about religion, but I will argue it from the standpoint of what the Bible says, not what faith dictates, and not attack anybody one faith. But I still would argue about anything. We are at a very unique place, and I have to admit, I'm not really a Christian. You not again. I think I said this before. Is that you would not know this if you saw me. You'd think that I spend year round thinking about Christmas. I am not a Christmas person. Halloween has definitely always been my favorite holiday. And Christmas has always been kind of like, eh. Um, and I think it's partly because when I found out that it was a takeoff of Caesar's birthday and everything like that, and um, Jesus was really born in April. As always, cool beans in the comments below. It doesn't have to be cool beans, it could be whatever you like. And wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I hope you're having a fantastic time doing it. And I will talk to you tomorrow for Christmas Eve. Ooh, Christmas special. All right, take care. All right, bye.